Hi, this is John from the Detritus podcast. Before we begin this week's episode, I wanted to hop on quickly and apologise for the quality of the sound recording. Not just this sound recording, which I'm doing on my way home from a pool on the phone, because I just remembered, but the episode in general. There were unforeseen circumstances, and I know what you're thinking. What a shame after 3 golden classic 10 out of 10 eps. But the episode is pretty fun, and we'll be back in a fortnight sounding the usual levels of terrible. I hope you enjoy it. Bye.
I really want to go to the World Cup, and...
Look, we've been through this, haven't we? It's too expensive to fly, you can't drive. The only way to get there is if, I don't know, we cleverly swap ourselves with Sven-Goran Eriksson and his assistant Tord Grip.
Cultural ephemera, stuff from the media. Living in perpetua, in our memoriam.
Once more. Cultural ephemera, stuff from the media. Living in perpetua, in our memoriam. Hello and welcome to Detritus, the podcast that sifts through the debris of popular culture in order to explore, uncover, and maybe even reclaim that which is lost to the algorithmic rivers of time. I'm John Lovelace, this is Jack Savage.
Hello.
And to introduce this still not particularly watertight concept, we will be petitioning each other to participate in the act of remembrance. As George Ellison wrote in 1921 in his poem Forgotten Days of long ago, I wonder where you are, and if perchance we'll meet again on some far distant star.
That's beautiful.
I just found that when I searched poem about memory.
Okay, right.
I've had my head so deep into the necessary research for this no doubt thrilling episode we're about to treat you to that I totally forgot to write my little couch gag intro. I will never do it again.
Right, no, it's fine. I mean, I think that's... the fans are obviously looking forward to the beginning of it as much as they are the main body, but it's...
Sure, everyone loves to hear what we've been up to. However, the only thing we've really been up to this past week is launching the first episode of the Detritus podcast. It's out there. You've probably heard it. It's been great to connect with the fans.
Oh, yeah. The tens of fans out there.
Well, it is tens, but, you know, we are, I'm pleased to report, in the top 50% of podcasts worldwide.
What? Already?
Already. Do you know how many listeners or downloads you need to get into the top 50% of podcasts worldwide?
I do. It's 28.
Yeah, it is. For the benefit of a podcast in the future, just to set this stuff up. Because I mean, look, I'm really going to struggle here if I'm not repeating things I've already said to you.
Okay. Right. Sorry, I mean, what I mean is that...
It's 28.
It's 28. What, 28?
28, yeah.
So, and that gets you into the top 50th percentile.
Yeah,
podcast.
And to repeat some material of yours back at you.
Yeah.
Imagine being one of those people just consistently doing this for less than 20 years.
Yeah, salute to all the kings out there, like
Absolutely.
Just like working away every week, like dropping fire.
The modern hospital radio.
27 listeners a week, like let's go.
Great stuff.
Salute to those people.
Well, the important thing is that we enjoy it.
Exactly, yeah. No, exactly. No, it's been really exciting to...
You were at a wedding? Did you tell anyone about it at the wedding back in the UK? So did you? You've not managed to... I know you weren't giving a speech, but there could have been a way that you could have asked one of the best man to maybe incorporate it into the speech.
Well, I was on the family table, which was a bit lit. So, well, there were really... I didn't really think there were many candidates for listenership.
What's your wedding schedule looking like this summer?
I think that's it for the wedding so far.
Over.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was a good one. Yeah, nice to see a lot of family people. Went to Ashbourne, which was
in Staffordshire.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Very old.
A lot of signs, yes, absolutely. This is just to get the mention in super early this time. It was like covered in bunting that's up 365 days a year.
What, in Ashbourne?
Yes. And
why is that?
Reform Council.
Oh, it's a Reform heartland.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to give that to Reform. They do
love
bunting, don't they?
Yeah, the bunting budget is
It's marvellous.
Unprecedentedly large.
I bet the bunting industry can't believe it.
Yep. I mean, I think they're really dining out on that.
There's probably one very conflicted Lib Dem bunting manufacturer who just can't believe this is out, Nick.
Yeah. The Union Jack flag manufacturer.
Did you pull them down?
Did I pull the bunting down?
Bunting down in process?
No, actually. But I did arrive. I arrived at 2 a.m, and the place I was meant to stay was completely closed. So I started walking around Ashbourne kind of like alone, just looking at
the bunting's blowing in the wind.
Yeah, looking at the bunting and shaking my head. Yeah,
that showed him.
Yeah, and so I did. Yeah, I did think about. I mean, I was never going to vandalise Ashbourne, but
no, of course
I was a bit pissed off by it as soon as I arrived.
Yeah, you can't vandalise somewhere just because you disagree with the local political bent of it.
That's democracy, isn't it?
That is bloody democracy, mate. Yeah, that was just a test out.
But no, there weren't really any candidates for Detritus fandom in the wedding that I was sitting next to.
Well, there are candidates, not even candidates, known fans now all over. Berlin had the highest concentration of visitors.
Thank you, Berlin. Thank you, Berlin. Yeah, okay, nice.
Chipping Norton after that.
Chipping Norton, oh, right. So, yeah, David Cameron, obviously.
But you know someone in Chipping Norton?
Yeah, my dad lives quite near Chipping Norton.
Right, okay. Well, your dad has told at least 3 people about it.
Okay.
We have 4 downloads for Chipping Norton.
I'll be my 3 half-siblings, probably. Yeah, so two of like Fran and Tash who were living in a room.
Yeah.
And then my dad.
They were very nice when I met them.
Yeah, exactly. They're definitely Detritus fans. So is Chipping Norton can't be second, can it?
No, I can't remember my password to log in, but there were Athens was on there.
Hell yeah! Okay, nice. Book a tour date now.
And somebody in I think Washington DC has been listening to this. Probably a major policy influencer.
Yeah. It's
hold on in there. You've just got 2.5 more years of that orange bastard left.
It's Obama. Yes.
Well, we've got a lot to get through today. And that can bring me neatly round to the thrust of the episode, which is we are recording this on World Cup Eve.
We're recording it in a state of World Cup fever. Or actually, I don't know. It hasn't really kicked in for me yet because I sort of feel like the format is a mess, and so I don't feel
the podcast of the World Cup.
The World Cup. But very nice.
I didn't bring my Vuvuzela.
No, nor did I my Jubilani.
Yeah. One bit of feedback I got of my own girlfriend is that she said she enjoyed the podcast, but she found it, quote, quite masculine. And I am aware that we are now about to dive into a footy special, but we should affirm our credentials in terms of talking about the beautiful game. So I'll ask you first, Jack, what is your personal relationship with football? Because we know you're a cricket man. We talked about that last episode. But what about the old footy?
I sort of feel like I'm like a quite, I like football a lot, but I'm pretty lapsed in terms of my football fandom. I'm a Tottenham fan, right, but I don't really...
Didn't Tottenham just go?
Yeah, that kind of they just about avoid the draw.
Sorry, when West Ham went down.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like every time I start to talk about football, like there's always like someone who knows much more about football in the conversation, and they start talking about like concepts like wage structure and player contracts and like 60 grand a week, and all these things it's a bit like corporate gossip or something. All these things seem a bit inherently square, and I can't really find the fun in them.
Well, as a square, that's actually the side of football that I like best.
Oh, okay, hey, you're a wheeler and dealer.
So I grew up in a football-loving household. My parents were big Liverpool fans and remain so. My mum used to share a season ticket. My dad still goes quite often to Anfield. And the downstairs bathroom in my parents' house is entirely decorated in Liverpool memorabilia.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. It's kind of a bit overwhelming, to be honest.
Right.
Whenever I go back there, and they've usually added a little trinket from the LFC gift shop, but the The centerpiece is one of those sort of fake newspaper headlines you could have printed. Used to be able to have it done in the Liverpool store, I think, at Anfield, and now you can just get it online. And it says, referring to my mum, it names my mum and says, "Was worth every penny," says Hoye.
Nice. I bet she delighted when she got that for Christmas.
She's had it up for 15 years.
Okay, good.
I believe Gerard Hoye passed away recently, but so it's kind of commemorating him as well. But I don't think I'm not sure it's ever occurred to them, really.
Well, I think it can be your private joke.
For me having a chuckle every time I take a wee at my bed.
Yeah. No, but it's nice. I do love to, I'm seeing that bathroom in my mind's eye, and I like it, and I would like to use it.
Yeah, well, play your cards right.
Thank you very much.
My relationship with football, I enjoy almost everything around it, except watching it, really.
Oh, really?
Largely in the same way that I don't really like soap operas that go on and on forever, because I don't like the lack of a definitive end in league football.
Right, okay.
Something about it is frustrating.
Yeah, it always goes on.
And I enjoy reading, Barney Renee and The Guardian, and I have a lot of friends who really like football, and their enthusiasm, especially for the obscure corners of it, is really great. I like being privy to that. But especially if it's like, a mid-season, mid-table game, I enjoy everything about it. And when I was younger, I used to go and watch Tranmere Rovers play, and I remember that was good. I'd go with my dad and my grandfather, and I'd enjoy it. But I mainly enjoyed the atmosphere and the things happening around the game rather than the game. And one thing I like about the World Cup is that, it's been expanded this year. It was like 108 games, and it's a week longer, I think, more teams. But it does end, and it will end.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that element of it. I'm looking forward to watching the opening game tomorrow. I'm looking forward to watching England's first game next week, and basically absorbing a load of witless opinions that I can pass off as my own half-baked perspective.
I think at its best, like the World Cup has a really, really great structure and narrative, and it can you kind of get warmed up with the group games, and there's I don't know, I feel like I know the structure of it so well that it's going to be so strange to have that disrupted, like the kind of like the 3 games a week or 3 games a day for like a week and a half, and then it goes into the group stages and it all gets a bit more spread out and exciting.
Yeah.
It goes into the knockout games even.
I'm glad it's in summer again. I know that the games are on at nocturnal hours largely, but having it in summer, feeling the pollen rush up my nose,
Yeah.
having a pint outside, and it's great in Berlin. All the local shops have already set up widescreen tellies and media marks so that people can have a drink and watch it outside the shop. Stuff like that is what I really enjoy about it.
It is kind of good in this city. I think it's better here than in London somehow.
Yeah.
I sort of feel like in London it's always like queues to get into some sort of sporty pub, like a really grim vibe when England fucking lose, obviously. Whereas the party just kind of goes on in Berlin, which is good.
Well, talking about England losing, we're recording this episode specifically so we can get it out before England get knocked out. So as you're listening to this, the World Cup will have been on for a fortnight. Hopefully our boys are holding it together and haven't been just destroyed by Croatia.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen?
Who knows?
You
know what? It's anyone's game.
The ball is round, right?
Sure. You'll be pleased to know that we aren't talking about football specifically directly. We are talking about one of the most wondrous elements that surrounds the World Cup, which is novelty England songs, of which there's a rich history, official and unofficial, and that is something I can speak passionately about.
Yeah, it's also a thing which has sort of come to kind of an end, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly haven't seen one like on the...
No, not for this year, of course.
the release
it's more
schedule.
fragmented now. I'm sure there will be chances out there making a go of this, and we will be revisiting some of the absolute top chances.
I sort of feel like, like the late 90s to the mid 2000s, like they were sort of...
But when people still bought CD singles as well.
Also in the wake of, the huge success of like Three Lions, then...
Yeah, which isn't on this, by the way, because it's basically too good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone's heard that. It's fine.
I like it. I don't want to hear it ever again, really. And I'm glad that Baddiel and Skinner haven't released a 2024-6 version of it. They did do a 2024 version called 2022 they did a version called Football's Coming Home for Christmas. That was
really?
Yeah. Again, I've only been made aware of this in researching this episode.
Right.
So we are going to begin with an official England collaboration. However, as in the FA gave it their rubber stamp of approval. But before that, here are some things that we rejected because they are not up to the high standards of the Detritus podcast. 2010 was a really big year for PP cashing in on this shit.
Right, yeah.
So there was Neon from Morrissey and England's Pride with England's On the Way, which reached number 18 in 2010. And that is a parody of The Lion Sleeps Tonight. It said it's Free Lions Sleep Tonight. And it goes, England's on the way. And the video for it looked like it cost probably £600. It's Neil and a pub band. And, this is 10 years after Bob the Builder. He's had a number one.
Right, yeah.
He's remained in the public eye. I think a generally well-liked figure, Neil Morrissey. But he was determined to do this, and he's surrounded by a bevy of page-free-esque beauties, and they're wearing St. George's flag glittery bikinis. And it was shot, it looks summery, but I reckon it was shot in April in advance.
It's fun, what's his name? Neil Morrissey's, he's kept his brand relatively free of the ignominy of unofficial England.
He's known as a major football fan, right?
I mean, yeah. I guess
he's an original lad.
He is an original lad, but then I don't know. Maybe because he was playing an original lad. Maybe his character has got mixed up with the person Neil Morrissey.
Yeah. Anyway, I obviously I'm not offended by Neil Morrissey's attempt to cash in on the World Cup 2010, but no, it wasn't even the World Cup, was it? Would it 2010? Yeah, it would have been the World Cup.
Yeah. That was Vuvuzela.
Yeah, Vuvuzela time. Yeah. And also from 2010, and also rejected, was Chico, It's England Time. But Chico won... No, he didn't even win. He was a contestant on the X Factor in 2004, 2005.
Right.
And he had a single afterwards called It's Chico Time. And then 5 years after this, he had another single called It's England Time, which is funny because Chico is Welsh.
Right, yeah. It was kind of like...
Latin. He's Welsh Latin.
Yeah, I think...
So I imagine a lot of people watched or heard this about, I'm not having foreigners do my England songs.
Yeah, but he knows he knows a moment. He knows an opportunity when he sees. That's what I think of, Chico.
And he actually managed to get it some radio play by canvassing He Who Must Not Be Named on this show.
All right, yeah, I knew that he'd be involved.
The big man. And nowadays... Chico was last seen protesting alongside Piers Corbyn against vaccinations and the COVID lockdown.
It's funny the amount of people who we're going to. Yeah. It's funny it's ivermectin time. It's funny the amount of people who we're going to bump into in this story who sort of go that way.
Oh yeah, it was definitely it's a real crossover. Also 2010, and somebody I'm a really big fan of, had never been made aware of this, and again, do not understand why it exists, was Rick Mayall's World Cup song, Noble England.
Yeah, that's a shame, isn't it? I was hearing...
Bumped his head after the quad podcast.
I had a look at the video for that today.
It's really weird.
It's really strange.
And it's not... It's got a sort of wizardry, kind of medieval theme to it. And he's it's not funny and it's not
catchy. It's very strange.
Maybe he had a nephew who was like into music production or something.
Maybe.
And football.
Maybe. But, Rick Mail is, an Englishman who makes me proud to be English.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave him off this. And then also Embrace's World at Your Feet from 2016.
I don't think that's from 2016, point of order.
2014?
I think it's from 2006.
Really?
Yeah, I did look that up.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
I think it's from later. We'll see.
We'll see. Okay, yes, yeah. We can't possibly Google it now.
But again, Embrace, perfectly lovely, competent indie rock band, and that's exactly how the song is. Check it out.
It's sincere. It's earnest.
Yeah, it's good.
It's sort of somewhat heartfelt-ish. It's as heartfelt as it gets in terms of...
They rang Elmo. They weren't available.
Yeah.
Embrace picked up the phone, and they did a fine job. We're going to start with 1998's official England collaboration. How Does It Feel to Be on Top of the World by Echo and the Bunnymen, Ocean Colour Scene, Space, and the Spice Girls.
Wow.
And we'll hear some of that right now.
Looking like it's gonna happen, knowing that the time is right. Right on our side of the passion, we've got the glory in our sights. Streets all over the nation.
So yeah, 1998. A confession about this.
Yes.
I was very tuned into pop music in 1998, and I was all over this World Cup. I remember it really vividly. I remember Michael Owen and Beckham, and I was on holiday in Mallorca. When you sent me this, I was certain I'd never heard it before, which seems mad, given that it features, once again, Echo of Bunnymen, Ocean Colour Sea and Space, and the Spice Girls, which is a bizarre confection of people.
Completely.
But I'd never...
And Johnny Marr wrote it.
Oh, of course, yeah. But when I did hear it, I realised that I did know the chorus, but I thought it was just some cast B-side or something. It was something really, just proper detritus at the back of my head that would, occasionally show up on my ADHD jukebox, but I didn't. Very rarely. And when I found out who was involved and that the Spice Girls were in it, I was blown away.
Yeah. I think it holds up pretty well in terms of footballing. The actual musical pedigree of some of these.
Well, there are decent musicians on it.
Yeah.
It's probably not Ian McCulloch's most celebrated work.
I think he certainly delivers it with amount of kind of like slightly dour kind of.
His chorus is like, like he's kind of hopeful but indifferent.
Totally.
But is that the mood and vibe you want for a nation uniting official England song?
I think
I'd say not.
Well, yeah, I mean, who was it? Like, I think it was the Keegan era, wasn't it?
Yes.
And so I think there was
Hoddle, right?
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hoddle's disability comment around then, I think.
I thought Hoddle got removed before the World Cup. I can't even remember. God, I should have researched this.
Yeah. But let me tell you, we can tell you a lot about...
I know it was pre-Sven. It was definitely pre and like with Sven came like...
maybe it was
big and a big, some kind of sea change with the vibe of the England team.
Do you remember when Hoddle said that he felt that maybe disabled people had done something bad in a past life?
Yeah.
Still the most out there thing any England manager has ever said.
It was the maddest way for a manager to get sacked.
Maddest way to get sacked, but for how offensive it is, it does suggest a depth of spirituality that no manager has ever had, I think. He
was definitely willing to kind of go there for his spiritual beliefs. I've never actually known what his, what flavour his spiritual beliefs were, because that's not really, I don't think that's like a Christian doctrine, is it?
I believe, Buddhism contains...
bit of that?
Not about disabled people being born
right
because of crimes in the past life or whatever.
I sort of feel like it was his own kind of spiritual confection. He was putting together a bit of a kind of
he must have a really good space that he uses at Tesco, a disabled space that he thought was like, just round the corner. He wasn't sure anyone was aware of it. He's like, look, they're using it, so I will. And he probably got caught out, and that day he happened to have a press conference, and that just came out of his mouth.
I mean, I hope that he never loses the use of any of his limbs.
Sure,
because it probably will happen. He will become an old person, and then he will
in the next life or this life. You mean?
Well, this life mainly, but it could also happen in another life for Dan Hoddle. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's an incredibly short-sighted thing for him to have said.
Yeah,
he had that spiritual healer called Eileen, right?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I think he hired this his sort of local, or his favourite spiritual healer to help the team, and I think she was called Eileen Drury.
How many international football managers have a favourite spiritual?
Well, I think you scratch the surface. There are probably a lot of strange beliefs going on, because I think you have to be so single-minded to be a sporting person that eventually common sense can't really take place in your head, and what you think of as common sense sort of replaces it. And that's if you're disabled, you're evil.
Yeah. Come on the pod. On the podcast.
Yeah. He probably has his own pod, sure.
Undoubtedly. Anyway, back to how does it feel to be on top of the world? The song goes on for ages. That's my main takeaway from when I sat through it the other day. And it doesn't really go anywhere. It's almost like a charity single. It sounds a little bit like We're Sending Our Love Down the Well from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Sort of like goes on and on. And by the end of it, it was just like, how does it feel to be on top of the world? It's like, get boy, let me fuss them down. I'm bored. It's fucking, yeah. I feel a lot of people would define Oasis versus Blur as, the Xenophon nadir of indie culture, Britpop. But this, I think, is a better example because it's like reverse engineered Britpop glory. Yeah, I
sort of feel like they're trying to get the Liverpool. They're trying to get the Liverpool vote, the Manchester vote. I don't know where are the Spice Girls from? They're from the home counties.
They're in Essex for Victoria,
right?
Anne Bunton, I don't know.
Surely Kent.
Mel C is from Liverpool.
Yes.
Mel B's from Leeds.
Oh yeah, of course.
And Jerry is from the depths of hell.
He's from everywhere. I kind of feel like the FA were trying to bring the warring factions of English football together in there. But I especially feel like they were trying to get the Liverpool fans involved who are, notoriously a bit sceptical about England.
Well, this is not a Spice Girls fan favourite as far as I know. I know that when they did their second Reform tour, not Reform like that, the Reformation tour.
I doubt Simon Fuller was that happy about it going in at like number 19.
No, but this was a tough time for the Spice Girls anyway. Like they what was about to say, they never performed it again, for example, when it's gone. And it did feel like, real obscurity to me. The Spice Girls were going for a difficult period, and the performance of this that you can see, they performed it on TV twice. Once on TFI Friday with Chris Evans, and then also on Top of the Pops. Both of those, or I think the TFI Friday one in particular, is Jerry's last performance with the Spice Girls.
Right, R.I.P.
Before she left, some time later. She didn't die. She went to work as an ambassador for the UN.
Not immediately.
Well, she went out on holiday with Robbie Williams.
Oh, right.
That's how she got over it. She did a bit of charity and a holiday with Robbie.
When she dropped
charity in it.
Yeah, when she dropped "Look at Me,"
that was 2000.
Oh gosh, that's a terrible.
Oh, that is bad. But sorry, let us not get distracted. By
sorry.
And the video for this is strange. It looks like it was shot. It looks like an American video, which is weird. And it's shot on what resembles the Sesame Street set.
Yeah, using all the same kind of techniques as like we're in the black and white video for Michael Jackson. The sort of the kids morphing into adults
kids
thing.
Morph. So some children morph into Ian McCulloch. Some kids morph into Ocean Coliseum, and various kids morph into the Spice Girls. And I suppose that is, that's the chaos of existence.
Yeah, some poor sods even morph into space, don't they?
Yeah.
Tommy from space.
Yeah, I mean, that's life, isn't it? You're born into it, you didn't ask for it, and then you morph into one in space or Jerry Halliwell.
Yeah, it's a disaster. But yeah, it's, I don't know, I mean, it has that kind of, I feel like what we're going to see in this is there be the kind of divergence between like the kind of officially sanctioned FA singles and the kind of like more insurgent kind of like independent
Yes,
singles.
this is big budget FA approved.
This is FA approved.
You know,
Bex turns up.
Spice Girls on.
Yeah.
Bex didn't turn up in the video, but there's some footage of him reviewing.
He does turn up in the video.
Does he?
He does.
Sorry.
Yeah, point of order.
Okay. Does he morph into anyone, or does he
No,
morph out?
I think Victoria winks at him and everyone laughs.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Great.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, he does this interview around it where they say, David, what do you think of the single?
I think, the song in the European Championships was good. I think this has got the same sort of quality, do you know what I mean? There's great groups singing on it as well, so I'm sure they'll love it.
He was a huge Space fan, I think. As was I, to be honest. I bought a Space single.
I don't know much about Space, although, I was sort of peripherally aware of them, but maybe I'm a little bit too young because they didn't have the sledgehammer impact that Paul Isis did.
They were a bit like a Liverpudlian male Alicia's Attic. Like they were sort of quite exactly.
Sell it to me, Drew.
Yeah. They were kind of a bit like Big Beat adjacent.
Now you are selling it to me.
Yeah, exactly. And they were kind of, there was something a little bit comedy about them. They did the female of the species. They were a bit like a...
Yeah, of course, which I loved as a kid because it had, crazy key changes and...
Yeah, it was quite kind of, yeah, exactly. It was very, it was kind of showy. It was a bit sort of Tony Christie or something. Do I mean Tony Christie? I don't know. But it was like it had a certain, they were a bit like a Liverpudlian all-seeing eye or something. Yeah, is that good? God, I don't know.
I mean, if you've never heard of this, I'll give it a listen. And also, watching the video is the optimum way to see it. Watching the Spice Girls on top of her pops, where Victoria genuinely looks like it's beneath her and she's hungover. And at one point, Mel B even grabs her hand as if to say, look, you're going to get through this. There's other stuff is ahead of you. Which it was. But at this point, the Spice Girls have been on tour for like 2 years. We had 2 albums in 2 years, but they have a fucking film out. Simon Fuller had just worked them like dogs, and now they're expected to come into work and pretend to do Keep Yours and Tommy from Spect. No wonder Jerry Beth.
Yeah, yes. This is the end of the absolute final straw for them. I think that, I like it. It kind of has, I feel like the FA is sort of trying to chase that kind of New Order-ish kind of rousing mood for like a lot of their official singles.
Song, isn't it?
Yeah, but it doesn't have the kind of it doesn't have like the kind of, I don't know, the earthy kind of bantery cheekiness that I think a lot of the insurgents were able to sort of like draw upon.
Feel real.
Exactly. It doesn't feel like it's going to go viral, say, or whatever. And I don't think that was a term in 1998, but it was
time traveler if you stepped into Simon Fuller's office and said, he's not going to go viral, Simon.
Yeah. And he would say, what the hell do you mean? And I'd say, like, listen, get back to me in 20 years because then you'll know. Or probably in about 3 years. But I don't know, maybe it neatly brings us on to some of the other, because so also it suffered from having 2 big insurgents. Well, not really insurgents, but like certainly one big insurgent, and then also...
Well, I think we're about to have our first real disagreement on the podcast about the next
Yeah, I think that's the country.
Because in 1998, in parallel to How Does It Feel to Be on Top of the World, there was an insurgent, and it did feel real. And that was Vindaloo by Fat Les.
Which I also bought on single.
Yeah, I think I did too. There was talk when we should mention that doing the music episodes of this podcast is difficult because now they send out a really stringent AI to root out people using unlicensed music, and you used to be able to use like 20-30 seconds of it, and now that it's just nothing. So we were talking about like producing our own little covers of these tracks. However, the rhythm on Vindaloo is so basic that I think, especially if I gave it to you or producer Graham, you'd come back with something inevitably complex.
Vindaloo 26, right, yeah.
Which is kind of like a more deconstructed version of Vindaloo.
Yeah, do a
polyrhythmic Vindaloo.
Deconstructed club record.
Yeah.
Can I introduce you please to a lump of cheddar cheese? Lift one, power one, drop one, cow one.
So I think Vindaloo is quite good. The video is a parody of Bittersweet Symphony, which is an iconic video, but I'd say this video is almost as well known, really, in a way, or was at the time.
Yeah, I mean, it was sort of like the beginning of certain kind of trends in UK, like comedy culture, wasn't it? It's the first time.
Yes.
So it's certainly the first time that I think Williams was fucking seen on the screen.
Well, no, it wasn't. We'll get to Williams.
Sorry.
We should.
Yeah, I don't want to get.
We should explain what this is. So it's by Fat Les. Fat Les consists of the actor and comedian and father of Lily and Alfie Allen, Keith Allen, plus Blur bassist Alex James, and all-round legendary bassist for hire, Guy Pratt. So that's a Pratt by name and a Pratt by nature.
Yeah, because... Okay, yeah, sure.
Come on.
Sorry, I mean, yeah.
So that...
Oh, yeah, no, sorry, no, he's not, he's like, Alex James is the Pratt by nature.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Pratt by nature.
That I can get behind. I agree the hell out of that.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Anyway, like, this is what happens when you give two bassists the opportunity to write a song.
Right.
And they came up with it together in the Groucho Club in the 90s. And the Groucho Club was London's hippest happening private members club around that period. I mean, look, it's fair to say that this was written, or the genesis of the idea was definitely emerged while drunk and probably emerged while on cocaine.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were the in-house band for the Toilet Keepers at the Brown Show, right?
Yeah, and Keith being kind of, a divisive figure, he's well-loved amongst London media. So
who's Keith Allen well-loved amongst?
The people he dragged in to do this.
Yeah, okay.
The people he's doing gear with.
I guess, yeah. I mean, yeah. I wonder if...
I mean, he does drag his own children into it as well. They are in the video.
Yeah.
So the video is... marching, a bunch of marching people through London, through the suburbs of London, and there's kind of all sorts of wacky characters. It's kind of like a living Viz magazine. There's a funny butler, the bloke who plays the lead fella in the leather jacket is big old Paul Kay.
Yeah, there's Roland River on his side here.
Is it anyone who was at the London Comedy Store 1987 is in there.
Right. I kind of feel like Roland Riveron is like going to be one of those characters a bit like Van Dyke Parks or someone who's going to be always there or thereabouts in so many things we end up talking about. He's just kind of, I've never really understood what his thing is. He would always appear on like the Big Breakfast. He'd be there at TFI Friday doing something. I think he was quite Jules Holland adjacent.
Talking head, isn't he?
Completely. Yeah.
Those I Love 1990, which to be fair, those I Love 1998 shows, that is just a precursor to this, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he'd be all over those.
Yeah.
And he's in this. And yeah, as you said, Matt Lucas and David Williams are in it. And at that point, they made the sketch show, that good early sketch show, Mash and Peas. And they are in it as Mash and Peas.
Okay, I'd not heard of that.
Yeah, there's some really good stuff in Mash and Peas. I like everything Williams and Lucas did together up until the second series of Little Britain.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a big show.
Profile.
Okay.
I like all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, Rock Profile was funny.
It's really fun.
Rock Profile was
silly. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But there are other people from greater and more respected worlds involved in this, such as Damien Hirst. Damien Hirst produced the single artwork for this, which is a photo taken inside someone's mouth with the words Fat Les Vindaloo written on the teeth. It's really horrible.
Yeah, it's really horrible, but it sold lots of CD singles in the age of CD singles. So
I don't understand
what do we know?
Why they went through that artwork, and part of me suspects that maybe that was
because it's kind of punk, isn't it? It's punk, and they were the insurgents.
Well, the reason it's called Vindaloo, according to Keith, who is always has a politically incorrect character. He has his heart in the right place.
Does he? No, he does. He really does.
Well, he claims that it's called Vindaloo because naming it after a curry, especially a curry that like a football lout would like, is kind of part of the joke. And it's written as a parody of a Terraces football hooligan chant, but then was inevitably taken up by football hooligans.
I don't trust anything that Keith Allen says. I'm sorry. Don't come on the pod, Keith Allen. But also, like, I was digging around him today. I found that clip of him on the Late Show where he like storms off. And actually, one thing that he there's like, I can't remember who it is, but there's a Indian panelist on the
he's an elder.
Late Show.
He's now in his 80s. I can't remember his name, but he's he's a novelist, I believe.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And Keith Allen says to the table, but to this guy, it's like, you haven't got a chip on your shoulder, you got Vindaloo on your shoulder. Yeah. And then he turns to someone else and goes like, "Do you hear what I just said? I said he's got a Vindaloo on his shoulder."
Yeah, I was the point he was making that like Vindaloo is obviously like a made up dish for the British palate, right?
I think he was just saying this guy's got curry on his shoulder because he's Indian.
Right, that's for gag.
Keith Allen was trying to absolve himself of the sins of basically kind of, you know, racially abusing this guy by saying he's got a Vindaloo on his shoulder by writing a song saying that we all...
For this?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So he's trying to own it and...
Exactly. He's trying to say that we all like Vindaloo.
I see.
That's why we're... But I don't know, it's a very uncomfortable clip, that. And I do think Keith Allen is, I'm afraid, a bit of a malevolent force in UK culture. But also he's kind of one of those guys who just doesn't really do anything funny.
He's a good actor, isn't he? Sometimes does
some
good acting.
I guess like I've seen
theatre.
Well, I've seen like the comic strip stuff, which is good.
Yeah.
But he also, you know, he's part of an incredibly talented ensemble in that.
Yes, he's not carrying the weight there.
Yeah. I mean, he's all right in his cameo in 24 Hour Party People.
Oh, he's great in 24. He plays the record executive.
Yeah, he's great
in Bar's Factory
for about 6 minutes.
Yeah. He plays a cunt.
Yeah, exactly. He plays. I'm yet to be convinced of Keith Allen's usefulness.
Okay, look, like we must move on.
Okay. It sounds like you're trying to protect Keith Allen there.
No, I just don't want you to waste all your energy on Keith Allen.
Fair play. He's not worth it.
It's not worth. Leave him out. In the time since, Fat Les recorded a cover of Jerusalem. That was for a World Cup as well at some point, which I didn't even make it for a video for that. However, there was also Vindaloo 2, which arrived in 2021, but featured none of the original creative forces behind Vindaloo, and instead featured Danny Dyer, Paddy McGuinness, Will Mellor, and Keith Lemon, and Bez. Now, because I care about this podcast, I put myself through this, and it was sponsored by Deliveroo, and it was raising money for frontline COVID workers in the NHS. So good of those guys to do something charitable while waiting for Panto season to break again. But the video is really weird because obviously they've recreated the original, which is in itself a parody. It's a copy of the copy. But it's shot on a really sunny day, and they're marching down what I think is Mile End Road, and you can see the financial district behind them. You can see the heart of the city. It's a really sunny day, and that's sparkling. And also, because it's shot during COVID, everyone's keeping distance from each other. So, the Vindaloo video has people falling over each other and jostling each other, and there's a good energy to it. But weirdly, here you've just got like Paddy McGuinness, Lee Francis, and Will Mellor, and they're all just standing 2 meters apart while marching at the same speed.
Right.
The magic is not there. But it was a difficult time, and they had to do something.
It does kind of. I feel like it sets up this kind of class of UK celebrities that are like the pool of talent from which basically England football singles are kind of drawn, and
Lemon,
Keith Lemon. Oh my god! Like, to me, it's really, I don't know. It's a certain type of.
This is where we're at with this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean. Yeah, the video is strange, and of course we later have learned that it did cause a super spreader event, the McGuinness variant.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
to kill,
I think Will Mellor would have dealt with that.
Didn't kill Will Mellor, but it did kill 200,000 or 300,000 more vulnerable people. Paddy dropped down to his knees in the street and was heard to say, "What have I dink dank done?" Let's skip forward to 2002. And some more stars of light entertainment, but much more beloved. It's Ant and Deck.
Yay.
2002, Ant and Deck, We're on the Ball.
Hi, John from the Detritus podcast again. So at this stage, we were hoping and planning to treat you to a quick burst of Ant and Deck's We're on the Ball from 2002. However, we couldn't find a suitable version for broadcast. In fact, the only version of We're on the Ball available is the original recording, which we're worried an AI will track down and then ruin a whole podcast. And it's just not worth it for Ant and Deck. Nobody's even ever covered We're on the Ball. And Ant and Deck never performed it live, despite being on TV all the fucking time. I don't know. It's one of life's mysteries.
So, this was produced by Mike Hedges, who notably, prior to this, had just recorded Everything Must Go by the Manic Street Preachers and The Man Who by Travis.
You wanted to let out some steam, I guess.
Well,
Those are big hits.
It was either that or, he'd created like two, I think, multi-million selling albums. And the only way that he could go bigger would be to work with Ant and Deck.
Well, I guess it shows that I feel like the official like FA singles, they're all very kind of big budget indie world things, aren't they? I feel like Three Lions definitely.
So this is 4 years after Top of the World, 6 years after Three Lions.
So this is 2002.
Yes, and they've gone for a safe choice with Ant and Deck. Ant and Deck at this point were still presenting SMTV Live, which was huge, and CD UK. And they've been in the public eye for 10 years and they've never really put a foot wrong. So they are a safe choice.
Yeah, I mean, they've proved that over and over again, haven't they?
Yeah, and the song it's a novelty track. It's not attempting any kind of crossover call.
It's light.
It's silly. The video sees Ant and Deck dress up as Sven-Göran Eriksson, who was manager at the time, and his assistant.
Tord Grip.
That's it.
Great name.
And they also dress up as several of the squad, notably, thankfully, just David Seaman and David Beckham, and not Emil Heskey.
Yeah.
Ant and Deck saved their blacking up for their own Saturday night television show.
Did they do that?
Yeah, they did. And during the summer of 2020, when after the death of George Floyd and the BLM protests and, changed culture, Ant and Deck had to step forward with an apology for their history of pretending to be elderly Jamaican women and Japanese schoolgirls on Saturday Night Takeaway.
Fucking hell.
I mean, that was a mad period of time when everyone was just sat indoors watching this unfold. And you just know that after about a week, Ant and Deck probably had like a private call together and they were like, I think it's fun coming, mates. We got a fun good house.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll cast my critical eye over there. Saturday Takeaway.
You're going to watch that back and go,
as the arbiter.
This isn't bad. This is fun. They should do more stuff like this. They said in their apology that they were sincerely sorry. So they had to say that because most people think of them as cheeky chaffies and mucking about. So they had to be like, no, we really are sorry about this. It was not on. Anyway, I like Ant and Deck. I did then and I do now. And I was 13 when this came out. And I think the mix on it is quite good in retrospect. And it does capture, if not the atmosphere, then sort of the energy of being in a football stadium. And it's got some casual pub knowledge on it. So the lyrics are like, Beckham to Scalzi to Heskey to Rio.
Something. Yeah.
And you can sing along with that. And that's fun. And if you are a layman like me, it's good to learn a bit from Ant and Deck, isn't it?
So you can go to the pub and be like, and it's a Rio to Neville.
Neville to Scalzi. Yeah.
And someone's going to be like, yeah, no, this guy's really turned on. Really, you're right.
Yeah. Try three up front. Scalzi, Heskey, Beckham. They weren't all strikers.
It's positive. Features a lot of guys like sort of dancing with like, fists in the air kind of thing. It's fun.
Yeah, Ant and Deck.
It's what you'd expect from Ant and Deck, isn't it? Like
I unfortunately don't really have that much to say about it. Not because I'm an Ant and Deck lifer, but
which you are,
which I am. Yeah. Fuck it. If you've got to believe in something, you believe in Ant and Deck.
Yeah,
they've dealt with their mistakes. such as dressing up as Japanese schoolgirls and poor ants' alcoholism. And my dog has run around the park with Ant's dog.
Right, no way.
Yeah, on Christmas Day.
Fuck.
It wasn't like a sort of like a surprise Christmas present for
Right, yeah.
Ant just happened to be walking his dog at the park.
It's amazing how they've kept the band together over all these years.
Well, they're
having like lived
they're
each other.
insured. They're insured against each other.
Right.
I think we should get that, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know they're the same age apart? There's only like 30 days between them or something.
Right. Yeah.
That's why they're so
In tune.
inseparable.
I prefer Deck to Ant. I've always found that Ant, like I said, I'm Ant and Deck lifer, but I'm a.
But you're a Deck lifer. You're an Ant fan, but you're a Deck
In
lifer.
some sort of like, Sophie's Choice where one of them had to go to the BBC, I'd send Deck to BBC and I'd keep out Ant on ITV.
Right, interesting.
But I used to have when I was younger, I thought I'd worked out a great way of remembering which one's which was Ant. I mean, when I was a kid, like Ant, you'd think would be the small one, but he's actually taller.
Oh, right.
And and it's reverse. But I remember telling somebody that in school and them saying, they stand in the order of Ant and Deck, always left to right, and that's an easier way to remember it.
Right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's one of their big innovations.
Okay, right. So you never see Deck.
It's not possible. They're contractually, they have to stay at certain angles. They have to walk in that order. It's never been broadcast, never been filmed.
I'm going to go home and sort of just like flip the...
You'll be looking for a long time, my friend.
Well, I'm just going to do it.
Even when we're playing Sven-Goran Eriksson and his assistant, it's still, the bit's still there.
That's really interesting.
It's not that interesting, is it? To remove
it's a great bit of like, it's visual.
It's the least sincere you've ever sounded on this.
I mean, I am interested by other things like that.
Yeah, anyway. Good old Ant and Deck.
I always sit on this side of the sofa when we record
Yeah,
it.
that's true, but we don't video it, so it doesn't...
Yeah. But you can hear it.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. You can hear the distance is growing further and further. Let's move on to a less likeable and together less successful duo. We're skipping forward to 2010, when England lost 4-1 to Germany.
Well, kind of point of order, would it be good to do Bell and Spurling now? Because they'd be 2002, wouldn't they?
No, because I need to build to Bell and Spurling.
Okay, sorry.
With you.
Okay.
I'm seething and I need to get there. I'm dreading Bell and Spurling. Anyway, so we're going to flash forward to 2010 for another bit of light entertainment. It's the 2010 World Cup, not a classic. England lost 4-1 to Germany. There was Lapod's ghost goal.
Oh, God. Nightmare.
And you've written in quotes here on the notes, thanks very much, Sepp Blatter.
Yeah, Mark Lawrenson goes like, he says, and guess who don't want goal line technology? FIFA. Thanks very much, Sepp Blatter. It's great. It's a great bit of like, pure in the most enraged and business.
I'm going to watch that when I get in. Yeah. But the official England song was Dizzee Rascal and James Corden with Shout. Now, Jack, I know that you didn't even watch or listen to this, and usually I'd be annoyed about that, but I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
The nation is watching. Come on, England, we need to sort it out. Put the shuts down, pull your finger out. Leave the wax alone, set aside your ego. We're tired of rapping about 40-odd years ago. We need a victory.
So this was raising money for Great Ormond Street Hospital. Dizzee Rascal and Corden were both extremely famous at this time. And to revisit quite how famous they were, or quite how prevalent, Dizzee Rascal had a number one just 2 weeks earlier with Dirty Disco, which is a kind of commercial disco pastiche, which I don't remember at all. But the video features the reggae and dancehall DJ legend, DJ Derry, rest in peace, who incidentally would never play the record that he stars in the video.
Well, I sort of feel like it was kind of the year of like the stars of grime kind of like leaving grime behind, like the
Chipmunk and
like the big
Pinchy Strider.
big wily so, wearing my
Wearing my Rolex.
like, and also
A
like,
few years earlier, but while he was still attempting those kind of hits.
yeah. And I suppose it was a few years ago.
It's 2007,
But I guess I associate it all at the same time. Yeah, also like the Rolex.
Life was just a blur back then, man. It was just
It was crazy time. But yeah, I think also, Dizzee Rascals like left XL.
I mean, Dizzee at this point he was a real crossover. So that was actually his fourth number one, and Shout would be his fifth. After this run of hits, Dance With Me featuring Calvin Harris, Bonkers, Holiday, and Dirty Cash.
Right, it's insane how much better Bonkers is than all of those other terrible records.
Oh yeah, Bonkers is on the Van Helden collaboration.
Yeah.
And I do have a soft spot for Dance With Me because it's a Calvin Harris collaboration. It was released about 18 months before this, and it's the last glimpse you get to see of original Calvin Harris, basically.
Right.
Before he disappeared for 2 years and looked like a literal $1 million. I mean, do you remember he re-emerged with some mega EDM hits, and it was like he had, entered a different further.
Yeah, completely. Well, yeah, I feel like that Rihanna hit was like the big one.
Yeah,
the really sort of the major sea change where, but yeah, it was strange because
Girl in the World was that, I think. Maybe one of them.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I remember Calvin Harris being a fairly entertaining presence on early Twitter.
Well, he was
and also
guy.
and like a fairly fun pop star. Like something a bit irony. A bit funny about him.
Well, he was a fruit and vegetable man for Marks and Spencer's, and in the video for Dance With Me, where he plays a barman very awkwardly, he does look exactly like a fruit and vegetable man from Marks and Spencer's who's taken a side job at a bar at weekends.
There's a nice lyric that goes like, "A step away from the bar, make the sun hold your jar,
and dance with it."
It's good.
And then, you can see why it was a hit. As for Corden, Gavin and Stacey had just concluded on New Year's Day with 7.5 million viewers. But for context, when Gavin and Stacey returned for a Christmas special in 2019, it pulled in 18.5 million viewers, which is inflation of popularity of the time since, at least for Gavin and Stacey. And of course, in this period, Corden was tabloid gossip fodder, and he'd host for Brit Awards. The year afterwards, he would take the lead role in One Man, Two Governors, in which is legitimately brilliant, I regret to say.
Right.
And then he won a Tony for that on Broadway. So, Corden was juggling a lot of stuff, but he was everywhere. And this is Corden in his I'm just one of the boys kind of, your imaginary best mate role, which he basically plays in Gavin and Stacey as Smithy. He's basically playing Smithy in this video.
Yeah, it's like there's I vaguely remember like he comes in and is giving advice about
a comic relief sketch where he's in character as Smithy.
That's
and
it.
Goes into the world. Yeah, so he'd already built his grubby little bridge to the up, eh?
It was kind of before he was broadly disliked as well, right?
The weird thing about Corden is I don't know anyone who likes him, and he is like a figure of fun, and someone like Limmy will, do those sketches, not sketches, but his YouTube broadcast where he talks in depth about Corden and is like gloriously wound up by him, which is really funny. I don't really like Corden either, but I think like most normal people must really like James Corden. They did then and they do now. And I imagine he does seem, if you're not like a media gossip or a snob, he just seems like a normal like lad that got lucky, and that's the appeal.
I'm unsure. I don't know. I mean, I feel like he's slightly deserted his fan
I hate
base.
him more than Keith Allen.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine if they both walked into a room like what?
I think Keith Allen would bully Corden in a way that probably would make me go, all right, mate, come on, leave it out.
I feel like Keith Allen's a bit more like unpredictable, has like a really dark streak of rage inside him. Whereas Corden's a bit more like...
Corden's got a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Who would win?
But the most important thing to know here is that the song is fucking terrible. It's a mashup of Shout...
Oh, by Tears for Fears.
Tears for Fears. And Dirty Cash, I think. No, that they'd already done that.
Sounds like you haven't listened to it either.
No, well, I did once. But it samples some other kind of like crossover, like hip hop house kind of hit,
Right.
American record,
Like
on an England squad single. No, thanks, mate. Chico was bad enough.
Right. It's not like It Takes Two or something.
Something like that.
Okay.
Fucking hell. Dizzee, was nearly murdered 5 years prior to this.
Oh, yeah, in Iron Apple, right?
I mean, I can see why he did this because, he was nearly murdered. He basically sold a fuckload of records with 2 really innovative albums that brought grime to a big audience, but without diluting it. His legacy is really amazing in that respect. And from then on, he just fucking took the cash.
I think he really fell out with Wiley as well.
Yeah, now they're mates again.
Really? Okay. But I think Wiley's he's a pretty loose cannon guy.
Wiley's a madman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dizzee is not a madman like Wiley.
Yeah, but Dizzy's done some pretty fucking egregious shit as well.
They deserve each other, yeah. Let's move back to 2002. We're going back in time, both in terms of this discography, but also just culturally, politically, and socially, to Bell and Spurling's Sven.
Next, sexism, jingoism, and a sense of humour. It's the new anthem for English football. It is, of course, Sven, Sven, Sven.
Sven Goran Eriksson. He's got Jimmy Savile Zegger, so where'd he get a lovely girlfriend? He tried so many players for the Holland game. Yeah, how do you forget Collymore? The saying is insane. Sven Goran Eriksson.
So you just said a little bit of Bell and Spurling's Sven. From October 2001, so before the 2002 World Cup. That was on Top of the Pops, and it was being introduced there by Gail Porter, who I feel isn't pleased to be introducing this.
Yeah, perhaps with good reason. It is a bit minging.
To use very 2002 terminology, it is minging. And when I watch this Bell and Spurling video, I realise that I cannot go back to England.
Yeah, No,
I cannot, I must not.
Yeah, it's...
Because sometimes in Germany, I think, as an outsider, as an immigrant even, I have almost a better view on the German people than they do. Now, that's not true, and it's highfalutin, pretentious nonsense. But in the case of Bell and Spurling, I can look at it and I can say, this is England. This is England then and before, always, and now. This is England, quite pure and simple.
It's like 2 kind of semi-funny pub blokes.
Semi-funny pub blokes is a great description. And the song is about Sven-Goran Eriksson, who is a Swedish manager who at the time was doing great work even then with England. And there was he was quite beloved quite quickly.
I think he was a bit of a cure. I think one thing you could say as a positive on this song is it is actually sort of, they saw the phenomenon of Sven as being something that was kind of interesting. And I think, Sven is quite interesting as a sort of cultural thing. He was this sort of mysterious kind of professorial, grey-haired guy who had
from Kevin Keegan or Glenn Hoddle.
Exactly, yeah. Who you would never describe as professorial. He had thin glasses. I don't know. He also was he was both very dour, but also had quite an interesting love life.
Yeah, he had a really attractive wife, and then later, I think after this, was known to have had an affair with Erika Johnson, who was a very desirable figure for other 90s, and of course the punchline to Vic Reeves's knee-rubbing gag on Shooting Stars, which was a kind of send-up of that kind of leering masculinity.
Somewhat, but Sven was interesting. Whether he really got a tune out of England in his 5 years of management, it's hard to say. He was there for the great high point of English football, which was England winning 5-1 in Munich.
Oh, yeah. It's 2001, yeah.
Something like that, yeah. Also,
it's a qualifier, right?
Yeah, exactly. Also, then the England qualifying for the World Cup in 2002, which was a big kind of a big deal. But then, I don't know. I think I distinctly remember the moment when I think Sven lost it, which is when I can't remember what was going on in the game. I think England came very close to scoring, and he looked frustrated, and he kind of gave the side of the dugout a tiny little irritated weed done. And like, I think everyone was just like, this guy's got no passion. Yeah. And I think he lost the English football public at that point.
Oh, because he didn't smash open the glass.
Because he wasn't like furious or like screaming at the fourth official.
He's a strange man to write a kind of funny parody song, because I think this is what was confusing about Sven to people like Bell and Spurling, is he's like a very mellow, measured man. And yeah, maybe that did represent lack of passion. But, you know, he had funny glasses, he was Swedish, he pulled fit birds. And this song is kind of a celebration, but it's also taking the piss. But it's not funny or smart enough to be taking the piss in any kind of way that's rewarding.
Yeah.
There's not one but two verses about the fact that David Seaman has a ponytail.
Yeah.
Not only do they say he looks like a plonker or whatever, like your hair is in a right old state, but they talk about like cutting it off. They've really fixated on it, and the rest of the song is it's got this very simple metronomic beat, which again I think you probably would have.
No one's writing any World Cup hits in 7/8.
No,
which is really. I mean, but I just say maybe it's time for that.
What's so kind of evil about the song is that it is undoubtedly like extremely effective, basically.
Yeah, I
and
guess.
When Sven passed away a few years ago, I did think about that song. And so did everyone, because Bell and Spurling were interviewed on the news about it. They got a call on the day that he passed away, and they were like, "Oh, he seemed great when we met him, and he was always nice to us, and he seemed in on the joke, and he said, oh, what, are you still making a living for my name and whatever?" And I mean, like.
I don't think you meant that too kindly, probably.
No, maybe not. But Bell and Spurling, to give you an idea of who they are, you describe them as two sort of funny blokes. Martin Bell, I can't remember Spurling's first
Martin
name.
Bell, not the war reporter.
Not the war reporter, but he's like a pub singer, basically.
I get the impression...
Cabaret, cruise ship, pub singer.
I get the impression there's sort of two, like, Essex and Kent...
yeah, very much so.
Kind of like...
Good old boys.
Yeah, like kind of session singers or something.
Yeah,
I think they seem to have done something. I mean, like we happened upon there's
a lot of them online still, and... You know, I don't want this to be an epic rant podcast, basically. And I realise I've been probably a bit melodramatic on these two so far. But when you look at the performance and the Larry laddishness of it, and the very Englishness of it, you know, I wasn't surprised to learn from you that they are now largely gigging for Reform.
Yeah, they're really, they're like the GB News in-house band now.
They regularly go on Nigel Farage's GB News show, where Nigel, I don't know if this is on anymore, but he just drinks pints. And then he interviews them. There's one long interview where Farage is like interviewing them about their career, and they're laughing it up, and they're drinking cask ale. And yeah, that's their scene.
I sort of I sort of feel like I want to tell them that Nigel Farage is not going to shag them.
He's not going to shag them. And nor is he going to make them any economically better off. Although he might do, because Farage has just announced that Reform won't tax like additional working hours. So when the two of them are doing, 4 pub gigs in a weekend, they could benefit from that.
Well, I saw that in 2000. I thought, what the hell is that? Who are this pair of jokers? Well, they're here with me now. Bell and Spurling, Martin and John. Welcome to Talking.
Cheers. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
What have I got of vodka?
I would have had a pint of Guinness.
But you used to drink...
You're making me look like
John used to drink Scotch.
Did he?
And,
I did.
And then you had to sort of...
Well, I had to give it up.
You had to give it up, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Because you was in... Well, most of your royalties went to the Priory, didn't it?
They did.
That was the great Tommy Cooper joke, wasn't it? I'm on a special whiskey diet. I've lost 3 days already.
These are Essex lads, or, definitely from the south. They're not Londoners. They're working men, and I wasn't hugely surprised to learn that they are in cahoots with Nigel.
I've got to say, I don't think. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't think that Svensson is necessarily any worse than Vindaloo. I think it's
it is
about the same.
In terms of,
I think I'm quite irritated with Bell and Spurling now, but I think at the time it was more of a kind of curious,
silly.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't really
reassess it. But also, I wanted to understand Bell and Spurling. I was pleased to find out they had a podcast.
Yes.
Or so I thought. What they actually...
Where's your solidarity with brothers on the same...
No, yeah, we're all...
comrades.
Me, you, Bell Spurling, Rogan, Cora Swisher, and Russell Brand.
Yeah, the podcasting class. Yeah.
Now, there's an England squad charity single. But I went to watch their podcast, and they're just two geezers, and they're chatting about their life, and they're the two blokes from the pub.
The clip I saw was like there was
only 2 clips.
Yeah. That's the only evidence.
They never upload. I'll give it away. They never uploaded a podcast.
But it seems like they have they have different paths in life.
Well, that's what they said. He said, I lived in Colombia, and you've had done normal things, Marr, and you've had a family.
Yeah, it seems like Spurling is sort of he's lived a fast life.
Yeah.
It's definitely, you can kind of tell that from he's got a really strange physique. He's got a huge neck and then tiny wrists.
Yeah.
Have you not seen that?
I think he looks a bit like a cockle.
He looks a bit like a Viz cartoon. Like, he looks a bit like Cockney Wanker.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind. Maybe not Cockney Wanker, but the Viz thing, I think he'd understand.
Yeah.
But these
strange looking guys.
These are two lads who love banter. They've got a great sense of humour, right?
Well, I don't know.
And this is a banter.
Look,
I'm not an anti-banter guy. This is a banter podcast.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay.
Oh, mate.
Yeah. No, you're right.
So I watched this to try and learn a bit more about them. But they haven't even uploaded their podcast, and they're never going to be in the top 50% of podcasters worldwide, are they, if they fail to upload their original podcast?
That's it. I mean, that's the first rule of podcast.
So,
you've got to upload the damn thing.
Fuck off, you reform cunts. But if you want to slide me a DM and I can show you how to upload a podcast, I will do it for you, because you seem all right. At the end of the day, we are living in a fractured society, and I feel it's a bad idea to let a 25-year-old charity single... no, it wasn't a charity single, actually. Fuck them, it wasn't a charity. It was just a novelty single.
I don't think it was a charity single.
I think these guys are terrible. Yeah. No, I think it was on Warner Brothers. They did a follow-up single to this that I've seen them speak about since. I think they spoke about it, to be fair, in fairly funny, self-effacing terms to Nigel Farage, because they wanted to prove themselves as actual singers. Like, they are pub singers, and Martin, from what I can tell, is I think he might be a guitarist, songwriter, whatever. So they wrote a song called Golden Balls, which is about David Beckham.
Why?
And that's like, the lyrics are like, where are your balls? You've got balls. Show me your balls.
It's great stuff.
But it's done in this kind of like operatic style with shot in a theatre. And they, by their own admission, were trying to prove that they are not one-hit wonders, that they've got range.
Okay.
But they were forced to do it on a novelty single about David Beckham's testicles. And that makes me like them, to be honest.
Right.
It's an impossible situation.
Yeah, I don't know. They're going to have to come on the pod, aren't they? Like, for us to truly
I mean, look, anyone we
but...
mentioned who we'd like to call on the pod, Colin Greenwood, Charlie XCX, not Keith Allen.
Yeah.
I think Bell and Spurling are the most likely candidates.
Yeah, we might not be able to stop them from coming on the pod.
Oh, God, they're here right now.
Yeah.
We could do, like, in The Guardian, they do, like, dining across the divide.
Oh, yeah.
We could go out for, like a curry or whatever, and I could try and convince them that they're wasting the vote, and the real issue is lack of economic quality and lack of investment
over
globally.
many decades.
Yeah, and I imagine they'd
Take that
say,
hunting
you know
gun.
what, well, what are they? They're not bad lads. And I go, you know what, they're all right. And yeah, they've got some funny stories. So yeah, it's, that's all I've got to say about this.
Yeah, I wonder what the future holds for Bill and Spurling. I wonder what the future holds for any of us.
Yeah, very true. Very true. And that is one thing that we do share in common with Bill and Spurling. Future is uncertain for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes you think that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking right. I'm at a rail thing.
All right. We've got one more hit to get through. We're going to take a quick break. This won't be in the podcast, but I'm going to have a glass of water.
Totally. I don't want to let Bell and Spurling entirely off the hook because I think I feel like their current desperation for Nigel Farage's approval is completely pathetic. But
Yeah.
I don't know. As far as England
If
singles,
Liverpool win, they could be, headlining the Royal Variety Show.
they'll be the cultural ministers.
Yeah,
They'll be the cabinet.
You'll have Tyson Fury will be fighting some Albanian fella for his papers for the right to work. And after he knocks him out, he always does that thing where he goes, "Oh, England, my England." It will be Bell and Spurling who'll come on to sing him off.
Right, yeah. And we'll all just be covered in bunting forever.
And once again, that's why I'm voting for Andy Bowen. Let's move on to what I hope will be a shot of optimism and energy at the end of this edition of Detritus.
We promised you a special surprise, and here it is. Our new number one is the best football song ever, England New Order, and live by satellite in Sardinia. We should have John Barnes and Paul Gascoigne. Gentlemen, welcome to Top of the Pops, and congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
John,
Cheers.
how do you feel about the record first? How do you feel about the record first?
Well, we're glad that it's at number one. Obviously, we didn't play that much of a role in it. It's really a New Order song, but we're happy that it's there.
You're very modest. Gazza, tell me about the training and how preparations are going for the big match coming up on Monday. How are things going?
Well, that has absolutely nothing to do with the record.
Come on, we want to know about the football for one league.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we're playing as well as the record, then obviously we'll do well.
It's a good line. We wish you lots of luck. Here it is, Britain's number one, England New Order.
We are going to talk now about World in Motion, which was released by New Order in 1990. And yeah, this is from the top. This is great.
Of course. Yeah, it's hard to even lump it in with any of the things we've talked about today because it's so fucking far. It's so good. It's so rousing and hopeful and exciting. It's so sort of like, I don't know. It's an entirely new thing.
Let's just revisit what the history of official England songs before 1990. I've got them here. So the first official England song, which actually featured the team, was called Back Home by the England World Squad.
No, that's good.
1970. Yeah,
it's sort of like
warms your heart. That.
Yeah, no, I like it. It's kind of has the vibe of a like a sort of colliery band or something like that.
Very much. It sounds like it was. They really got all. They were like, "Does anyone know a sound engineer? Does anyone know who can play the trumpet?"
Everyone has that sort of like slightly old man haircut. Like all the players look about 50 compared to sort of by today's standards. Like there's a lot of like comb overs going on, a lot of like Brill cream in the.
It's really endearing.
Yeah, in the zone, isn't it? It's good.
And it's sung from the perspective of the team. They're singing about how everyone is thinking about them back home, which is interesting because everything after 1990. All the songs are from a fan perspective, or the spectator's perspective.
It's very true, isn't it? Like,
I think that is, Jack.
I mean, who knows? I sort of feel like there's I don't know. I guess like
you literally answered it in the
WhatsApp chat.
Do you want me to get your answer?
No, it's fine. I mean, I feel like there's a sort of a change of perspective towards like the fan, and I feel like the fan is like I feel like we see the culmination of this sort of shift in sort of like the world of like fan influencers, like the sort of the weird guys on Arsenal Fan TV or whatever.
Not that deep, you see, but I understand that is football almost.
I feel like there's a vibe in which these people are now the sort of protagonists of football. It's no longer the players and the managers or whatever. It's the man having a meltdown in front of his webcam for money.
Yes, for the only people below podcasters.
Yeah, exactly. And
keep at it. Yeah, and also it is very rousing. I'd advise you check it out. It's also 2 minutes and 7 seconds long, which is sort of perfect length for TikTok.
They missed a trick there by not.
Well, I imagine it will be on there, and I
exactly.
imagine it could, all sorts of strange things have a resurgence on TikTok.
I think it's a good tune back home.
It's such a good tune that it was also number 2 in Ireland, which feels inexplicable. But even the Irish were like, "Fuck it, never mind the troubles. This is a great tune."
Yeah. God, I mean, I guess like the loyalists were really fucking buying a lot of dollars to be able. Yeah. They were probably walking out with bundles of like Ian Paisley. Yeah,
big pick and mix and about 10 of them on
Defo.
Yeah. And then in 1982. There was This Time We'll Get It Right, which is also rousing, but the vibe of the song feels as desperate as the name does, really. It's like them promising that they're not going to let the country down, but it's really pitiful. It reminds me of I Can Change by LCD Sound System, where like the underlying sentiment is like, no, you can't, and no, you won't.
I haven't heard this one.
But it's still got to number 2.
Okay.
Their apology in advance got to number 2. Then things really go wrong in 1986 when the Squad recorded We've Got the Whole World at Our Feet, which reached in 86, number 66.
It's a big shout as well. They're kind of like, they're sort of already saying, it's not, I don't know, they're sort of presuming quite a lot.
Well, they probably look back and they were like, look, this time we'll get it right. We can't be sad sacks. We've got to go forward. And they came up with that. Unfortunately, it does sound like Agadoo by Black Lace.
Okay.
It's really bad. And then it wasn't really improved 2 years later by Stock Aitken and our good pal Pete Wharton.
Oh, yes.
With All the Way, which takes the Stock Aitken Waterman aesthetic of the time, that dominant pop sound, and basically tries to reinvent I Should Be So Lucky by Kylie Minogue, but for men who drink Tennent's from a tin and with their wives on a Sunday.
Yeah.
You won't be shocked to learn that was also not particularly successful venture, and it reached number 64. But the gulf in quality between those last 2 records and World in Motion is literally absurd.
Yeah, it's insane, isn't it? And I wonder how the World in Motion thing comes. I mean, I wonder how any of these records kind of come about. Who's the sort of central, who's saying let's get an England tune together? Is it from the label or whatever? Anyway, the stars aligned for World in Motion, didn't they?
Well, World in Motion was written by Gillian, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it wasn't originally written as an England song, but someone inquired and they said, yeah, we do have this track that we think could work. And I think it'd been sitting on the shelf for a while. The track was originally going to be known as E is for England.
Nice. See what they've done there.
Yes. So this was 1990, which was the second summer of love, at least according to all the DJs turned conspiracy theorists I used to follow on Facebook. And yeah, the vibes were good, and that is the difference between 1986 and 1990, I suppose. At the record, I'm not suggesting that, the England teams at the time were, knocking back pingers, but there are stories of hooliganism being deflated by, loved up the terraces and all of these bleary-eyed stories. So there's an Andrew Weatherall remix of World in Motion.
Right.
12-inch, which is like a really just back from like early
Shum
Amnesia kind of piano house anthem. It's a little bit too echoed up for my taste these days, but it is good.
Right. Okay, yeah, I'll have to listen to that.
Femi they'd asked Weatherall to work on Ant and Dex were honourable.
I think there's a Paul Oakenfold remix of How Does It Feel to Be on Top of the World? Yeah. It's not good. It's not good, I'm afraid. But
he would remix anything around that time, Oki.
I think it's kind of hard to put in. I don't think that we can really do justice to how good World in Motion is. So it's full of like that sort of determined mood of positivity. It's not really a sports single, but yeah, it sort of has some of the kind of feeling of like romance around sport. It's definitely, I don't know, it's stirring and moving.
It's like taking ecstasy.
Yeah.
It's organically optimistic. You've described it as William Blake-esque, I heard, so I thought that was good.
I mean, certainly it's like, I think it's reimagining England as a place that in which like positive things can happen, rather than this sort of like dour sink of bad vibes and sort of bitterness.
As Alan Spurling.
Yeah, that I'm afraid it goes back into, and that's why, in a way, like things like Vindaloo and Bell and Spurling are so kind of heartbreaking in a way. Like a better world is possible.
Yeah.
A world in motion.
I've always been more of a Bell and Sebastian man than a Bell and Spurling.
Yeah, but then what a great idea for a collaboration.
What most people know this for, even if they don't know the history of it, is John Barnes' rap, which around this time of year, John Barnes, or this time every 2 years, John Barnes will appear at your corporate function or on your chat show, and he will do the rap. I've seen videos of him like on Instagram doing just Manchester Airport when he's in the queue to get through security, which must be kind of tiresome after a while, but he's always there with a smile.
I've never seen him do it like begrudgingly. He's always there with the professionalism, respect.
And he's doing it at the moment not with New Order, but with Peter Hook and Peter Hook and the Light. My algorithm, defined as it is now by this podcast, presented me with some crowd footage of Hooky bringing out John Barnes the other night in anticipation of the World Cup, and him, as usual, just doing the rap with his usual zim and vigour.
Yeah. I wonder if he's got any new lyrics on the go, whether he's been writing recently.
Smart enough not to mess with this classic.
Yeah, fair play.
And again, a little bit like Ant and Dex, Rio Skolzy, technical stuff. There's knowledge in the rap as well.
You do have to get around the back.
You do have to get around the back, yeah.
Whatever that means.
Not just in football, but in general.
In life, it always helps, doesn't it?
Yeah. Unfortunately, Keith Allen is in... and he's involved.
It's a really deflating moment.
Keith just kind of is bouncing around.
What's weird is that, like, it's like, like, if you watch kind of Vindaloo and say... Naughty Christmas Goblin in the Office, or you sort of like
stop mentioning Naughty Christmas Goblin in the Office.
But yeah, if you sort of absorb like the sort of like Keith Allen sphere and his like involvement in pop music, and then you watch World in Motion and he suddenly turns up, it's a bit like the ending of The Shining where Jack Nicholson's character is kind of placed into the photo at the end.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's weird. It's like who put him back there? I don't know. It kind of
him, Roland Riveron, and like Jack Torrance from The Shining.
Exactly. It's like they're sort of getting put into my memories retrospectively, and I don't like it. So yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. I feel like Keith Allen's like this sort of this kind of force of nature that is like eternal and will never be vanquished. Well, and that upsets me.
He could have done the rap, which he didn't.
Oh,
so. To end the show, I'm going to play you something that you've inexplicably not heard, which was released a few years ago. As somebody bought it at auction, and it is the original raps from the recording session for World in Motion with the whole squad there. Now, I guess they didn't want to ask John Barnes first just because he's black.
But they did. And you also get to hear, they did ask him first, because I think he comes first on this tape. And you do get to hear Barnes's original go at the rap. And he tightened up his bars quite fast. But then you also get to hear the rest of the squad. You get to hear Gaza. Okay.
Somebody else who I forget, but somebody has identified it to in the comments. And then finally, Peter Beardsley
Okay, no.
who I'm pretty convinced had not heard hip hop or rap music before being asked to do this. I did have to double check that this is real and it's not like just a Bob Mortimer thing from Atletico Mince, but it is real. And yeah, as somebody has pointed out in the comments, Beardsley really does sound absolutely bladdered. So we're getting straight in from the phone here, so you get Jack's authentic reaction. All the squad here.
All the squad. Love that photo of them having a great time in the studio.
So this is Barnes' first goal.
It's funny, isn't it? It sounds like he's like sort of shouting it. Whoa.
You'll know Gazza when he comes. I think this is Gazza coming in.
You've got to hold and get.
That's Gazza.
Do it at the right time. You can be slow or fast, but you must get to the line. They'll always hit you and hurt you. Depending on attack, there's only one way to.
Should have done this for Raul Mo.
Get round the back, catch me if you can, because I'm legally mine. And what you're looking at is a masterclass.
Magic.
Again, they say the football song, 3 lions on my chest. I know we can.
I think this is Beardsley.
To hold and give, but you're at the right time. You can be slow or fast, but you must get to the line. They'll always hit you and hurt you. Defend and attack. There's only one way to beat them. Get around the back. Catch me if you can, cause I'm the England man. And what you're looking at is a master plan. We ain't no hooligan. This ain't the football song. 3 lions on my chest.
You can sort of imagine him like holding the lyric sheet with his like reading glasses on, like kind of peering at them.
Yeah, he's really trying. I mean, you've got to give it to him. He's trying to keep up with it. You know? But this is a new form. This is radical new culture.
Sort of sounds a bit like Shaun Ryder at times. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
has a slight, that sort of like, I don't know,
bellowing nature.
Yeah.
But I'm glad John got it together and delivered such a definitive version.
He really locks it down. But yeah, it's interesting to hear his first attempt.
Yeah, it's definitely, you can get that actually on a 4-disc collector's edition reissued by Light in the Attic.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'll get that.
Sure. You get every single possible take of it.
Yeah. Exciting.
Yeah. So, yeah, I believe that brings us to the end of our World Cup Odyssey. Are you feeling buzzed, hyped, and football crazy, soccer mad?
No, but I will certainly get caught up in it. I mean, because I kind of always do. And I don't know. It's bittersweet feeling. Do you know what I mean? I know there's heartbreak on the way.
Yeah, undoubtedly. But, it's summer. I watch some good footy. I've got everything off my chest about Bell and Spurling.
Yeah, I mean, I think things will, for a brief moment in footballing summer, then everything's kind of, the only thing that matters is like England going through on penalties. And that's a nice moment. And
this podcast and the weekly,
this podcast.
Every Thursday.
Exactly.
So far, 1 at this point, but 2 tomorrow. And you can follow us. We need to do this stuff now. Yeah, sorry. You can follow us on Instagram at Detritus Podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. Apparently that helps. That really helps.
I hear from other podcasts.
Yeah, I've heard from other podcasts. That really helps.
We've got three 5-star reviews at the moment.
Yeah, 3. It's a good. Let's keep that up. Let's keep that up.
One from me.
Anything else you need to do in podcasts? Certainly one from your dad.
Oh, yeah.
If you live outside of Chipping Norton, please leave a review. Yeah.
1 star.
Yeah. And that's all you have to do on a podcast, isn't it? That's it. I mean, you'll just keep getting the podcast if you download it once, unless you request it not to give it you anymore. You're just going to keep fucking getting it. So what are you going to do about it?
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to outlast the Bell and Spurling podcast.
We already have. And there's nothing, they can't take that away from us.
It's good.
Okay, thank you very much, Jack. Golazio.
Yeah. Cheers. Ciao.
Bye.
Detritus.